Hello, my honey. Hello, my baby. I forget the rest of the words, but hi, guys, it's Vicky with, yes, another layout video. I would have usually have put those videos into one video, but since I was participating and playing along in a couple of different challenges, I wanted to separate the layouts, so I could do a video response. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check out my entry for the Maggie Milo challenge and for the Judy Bakes 22 challenge. And maybe after watching my videos, you'll decide to play along and win the prize. Okay, so I mentioned this in my other video, but in case you didn't watch that one, I have a scrapbook album that is entirely like pictures from Florida. I have pictures from Florida of family members taken before I was even born. I have pictures from when my son and my mom and myself lived in Florida. I have pictures of me visiting Florida through the past 50 years. So, I wanted to start to fill up that Florida album. I really seem to neglect pictures of myself, pictures of my husband, and pictures of the extended family. I seem to always do pictures of Nate, which is fine, but I want Nate to know about these family members, and I want Nate to know about me, and that I wasn't always a grumpy, old, chubby lady. Okay? I mean, I was young at one time and not so chubby. Anyway, I've been really working on some of those old photographs. Now, back then, guys, we didn't have digital prints. We had Instamatic cameras. We had Polaroids. I have so many Polaroid pictures you would not believe. But what I've been doing is putting those original pictures through my scanner and into Picasa 3 or Adobe Photo Elements, trying to make the pictures look a little bit better. You would be surprised that I have photographs developed at heaven knows where, like little photo bugs. When I was like 15 to 20, I used to always get my pictures developed at those little photo bug places. They were like a real little hut, maybe 10 by 10, and they would be in the middle of a parking lot. And you would just drive up, drop off your film, and then go pick it up. Do you all remember those? I guess that's the place, because I was thinking, where did I get them developed back then? But that's who I used most often. Some of them, I mean, heck, I came upon one picture and somebody had sat a coffee cup on the picture. I could have killed them. Even though I'm a coffee drinker and I've been known to set my coffee in the wrong places, I never have set it down on a picture. Knock on wood. I'm trying to update those photos, and for some of these pictures being 10, 20, 30, and 40 years old, they have held up quite well, surprisingly. Anyway, it's been fun to do. So you'll probably see a lot of old Florida pictures from me for now, although I have to tell you, I'm actually getting in the mood to do Christmas layouts. I bet you're thinking it's time to unsubscribe from my channel, because if you followed me for any length of time, last year, like this past Christmas, oh my gosh, I was doing layouts from like November till March of Christmas. It was like some were Christmases from 1980, 1965, and some were from 2010 and 2011. So I'm really fighting the urge. After, in March, I thought I'd never want to scrapbook another Christmas picture in my life, but the mood is hitting me, and I ordered some Christmas paper. It should be here today or tomorrow. Okay, so anyway, here's my next layout. It is from Florida. Let me zoom out here so you can see the whole thing. And now let me set you down, and then I'll zoom in a minute. This is a picture. This is me, and this is my bestest, one of my bestest friends in the whole wide world. Her name is Anne, and oh my gosh, we met when we were like 13 years old in 7th grade or 8th grade. 8th grade. You know, boy, once we met in gym class, and after that, we did not leave each other's side until we were 34, 35 years old. She's a great friend, a great mother, and, you know, even when we were younger, she was just a good egg, and I'm very lucky to have called her my friend. This picture is from, like, I think it is 1980. No, it was 1979. And it was our first trip alone. Oh my gosh, we really thought we were uber duper cool for that vacation. And we had just graduated high school, and here we are sitting by a fountain at this beautiful hotel. Now, I thought that the hotel's name was called Lake Buena Vista Hotel, but it probably was actually a Sheraton or the Marriott. I forget now what it was, because I got online to try to find the hotel, and there's like 20 hotels now in Orlando. But again, this is back in 1979. Heck, it may have been called Lake Buena Vista. That's what I thought it was. But now Orlando has grown by leaps and bounds, so who knows? Anyway, this was a first-class hotel, and Anne's mom and dad actually paid for us to spend the night at this really, really nice hotel. We had worked and paid for the rest of our vacation, but there were a few little things that my mom did for us, and there were a few things that Anne's family did for us, and paying for a night at this super duper nice hotel was one of them. We were actually in Florida for almost 3 weeks, and our first stop was Daytona Beach, and we paid for that hotel. Oh my gosh, no, it wasn't a hotel, it was a motel, and it was called the Palm Circle Villas, and we just thought we was really something because we got our hotel room for like $20 a night. Well, when we got there, we found out why, but it was on Daytona Beach. It was not luxurious by any means, and you know what? We had a blast. Growing up, if she was not spending the night at my house, I was spending the night at her house. We went to the same school, so even on school nights, we would stay with each other. And her mother is actually one of the moms that was on my layout that I did for Mother's Day. I loved her mom and her sister, and you know, I was a part of their family. Anyway, we had a great time, and here we are, we're 18 years old, and let me tell you about the layout. The background is Basil Avalanche. This green paper is some cheap textured cardstock that I picked up from HSN a few years ago. I talk about it all the time, and even though I don't like it, I am trying to use it when I can, to utilize something that I spent money for. This blue cardstock and this blue cardstock comes from the Die Cuts with a View neutral pads. Do you know how hard it is to find navy blue paper, whether it's patterned or cardstock? And I remember Shamel Lane said in a video, I think she said this, that navy blue is very hard to do the pigment and the coloring, and that's why we don't see much navy blue in our scrapbooking paper. So the next time I go shopping, I am looking for navy blue patterned paper and navy blue cardstock. If any of you have a pattern paper that has navy blue in it and you like it, would you please leave me a comment below telling me what collection it is or where you got it? Because like I said, I have a lot of pictures with people wearing navy blue, but not a lot of navy blue pattern paper or cardstock. Anyway, this is just a little doily. It's from Wilton, and I picked those up at Michael's. This is that glitter font. Glitter Glam is the company name, and it's called White Curly Font, and I just picked that up at Joann about 2 weeks ago, and I really like it. This, you all have seen these a million times. It's the Recollection Butterflies. It's old. I got this on clearance months ago. This is a Prima flower. These are Recollection flowers. And I cut this little swirl out of my Cricut. Oh, what did I cut that out of? I think the Heritage cartridge. And I think that's about it. Let me zoom in. There's my journaling across the top. I kind of backed myself into a corner because it was very important for me to incorporate journaling on this layout. Because if you saw me now and you're looking at this picture of me then, you wouldn't know who I am. Plus, I wanted to tell the story. Nobody knows some of these things about when I was younger. And I wanted to make sure I had journaling on here. But I had the layout all put together. And I didn't know where to put my journaling. So I was apprehensive to put the journaling across the top like this, but I actually think it worked out fine. And there you go. Let me sit you down. I'll read you the journaling. It reads, in March of 1979, Vicki and Anna Lee went on their first trip alone. Her real name is Anna Lee. She doesn't like to be called that, though. Only her family can call her that. We stayed in Florida for almost 3 weeks. Our first stop was Daytona Beach. Then we stayed overnight in Orlando. This is the hotel we stayed at, Lake Buena Vista. We went to Disney World the next day. After a full day at Disney, we drove into Tampa to stay with Annie. Now that's what I call my great aunt Lois, Annie. We had a blast at this hotel. Look at Annalie's face. The guy who took this picture for us was from Europe. He was there with his family, but he kept trying to hit on us, and Annalie was not happy with him. And that's the truth. He kept flirting with us and flirting with us. I mean, we probably should have just said, never mind, don't take the picture. But at first he wasn't flirting with us, and we saw he was a family man. And so he was like, oh, would you all mind taking a picture of us? And we thought maybe even the wife would say yes. Well, she takes the kids, and he's like, yes. And she goes off to the gift shop, and he's like, what's two pretty girls like you doing here? But in his European accent. And at first we was nice. We didn't get it. And then he was like, do you all drink? Because back then you could drink in Florida. The legal drinking age was 19 years old. So it didn't take us too long to figure out he was putting the hit out on us. So anyway, Anne wasn't happy about that, but I had to sit here and laugh. Doing pictures from the past like this, it really brings back some happy memories. You'll see on my journaling, I hope you can, that like I bolded March of 1979. I bolded Vicki and Annalee. I bolded Orlando. I wanted to make the real important factors about this picture in bold so that people could see that. Anyway, guys, hopefully I'll have enough time to scrap today. I hope you like my layouts. I hope my stories weren't too boring. And I hope you come back. Thank y'all so much, so much for the comments, subscribing, and for watching. I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye-bye.